Hey. Welcome back to Waterfed Wednesday. It's been a while. Feel a little rusty. Well, happy to have you guys here. This is where we get to go beyond the bucket and dive into the world of waterfed cleaning, answer questions about our equipment, our businesses, and our goals of helping cleaners worldwide get the job done faster, safer, and better. I'm Alex Brunner, and with us today we have our co-host Ryan DeHoop with Pacific Solar Care and your Tucker Solar and Window Cleaning Product Specialist. Welcome,
What's up,
Ryan.
Alex? What's up, Alex? What's up, everyone?
Yes, glad to have you guys on board. If you're watching live, thanks. And if you're out busy and watching this afterwards, thanks for joining us. Definitely, if this is your first time to Waterfed Wednesday, uh, feel free to check out our previous episodes. They're over our Facebook page, which is RHC Tucker Pole Systems, and our YouTube channel at Tucker_USA. Just a couple of reminders. One, check out our website, tuckerusa.com, for our latest pricings and sales. And you'll especially want to check it out tomorrow. Wink, wink, if I can wink. Uh, Definitely tune in. Got something special for you. Another thing we would like to announce, in case you have it, if you missed out on this, for the entire month of May, we had entries for our Fill and Go giveaway. That's a single user Fill and Go. And we'd like to take a moment right now and just announce our winner. I'm going to play the little video clip. So basically, what we did is we kind of put a spreadsheet with all our entries for the entire month, which I believe we had 689 entries for the month. And we used one of those random pickers selectors and got ourselves a name. So let's show this off right now.
Drum roll, please.
Entry number 461. Let's take a look, see who it is. Here we go. So our winner of our single user Fill and Go was Jack Leinbach. Jack Leinbach.
Yes, Jack.
Congrats, Jack. We'll definitely be reaching out to you shortly here right after the episode is over. So congratulations, Jack.
Yeah, what a system.
I think he's going to be very pleased. Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely would
Jack's
like to.
Jack's been a loyal Tucker guy. I think he's got several rivals, and now you're going to have a wonderful Fill and Go system.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
To the arsenal.
Well, let's dive into it, Ryan. Our episode title, episode 24, uh, 5 mistakes new solar cleaning companies make. And us being an equipment manufacturer and seller, you think we're going to talk about our equipment, but this is really going to be focused on business and strategies to help you succeed. So let's get into this topic, Ryan, with our first one here. So
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and ask some questions and we can get into it. So our first one is, what's a common example of a short-term move that new solar cleaning companies make, and how can they start thinking of moves ahead instead?
Yeah. So I like to start with playing chess, not checkers. I think a lot of us, and like you said, going back to being an equipment dealer, that we kind of see that shiny piece of equipment. We see solar panels on all these homes, windows, whatever it might be, and we get very excited. We want to, we're starting to dream big, but we really don't lay out a plan. We don't really have any goals set. So what happens is, I see a lot of cleaners that they come to me like, hey man, I just bought this skid, bought this RODI system. I'm ready to go. Where's the jobs? I wish it was that easy, but it's definitely not, so that's where I say that, you want to have some kind of plan laid out. I know I started and it was something that I experienced where you feel like, again, you just see homes, 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 dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. But man, if only you knew going into it that if you don't have a business background, you're in for a treat. You know, I think a lot of people, the statistics show 50% of businesses die out at year five. So you got 5 years before that even becomes a thought. So lay that out. Be patient. Know there's going to be burnout periods. Know that, when I first started, our first 2 3 years were great. And so then I'm thinking, hey man, everything's fine, I don't got to worry about it, marketing's great, everything's great. Well, then COVID kind of happened and year 4 and 5 came, and that was the worst I ever experienced. So
Mm.
even from someone coming having a great year 1 2 and 3 and then thinking it could never happen, and boom, it's like it just hit me with all faces of it. So I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Want to acknowledge some people chiming in. We got our good friend Manny. What's up, Manny? Jamie.
Jamie.
Got Sean in the house as well. Absolutely.
Team Tucker, baby.
Jack, way to go on that. All right. So we asked our first question, and one of the five mistakes a new solar cleaning company makes. And first one mistake is they're playing checkers and not chess, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Play the long game. Know that you got plenty of years to build that out. And really, if you're starting small, as long as you remember to scale up, whether it's 1% increments, keep moving forward and you'll get there. You'll win the race.
Cool. All right. Let's go on to the next question here. Why is it important for new companies to build friendly relationships even with competitors? And how can that mindset shape long term success?
Yeah, I mean, going through all these questions that we're going to hit today, I've pretty much experienced every single one of these myself. So, again, you get into it, you're thinking, man, I'm on the top of the hill. It's me and I'm against everyone. I'm gonna be the best solar panel cleaner there is. I'm gonna go get every job there is. And again, you hit that real hard, and you realize that not only is every customer going to be your customer, but not every homeowner that has solar is going to want to get a cleaning service, no matter how much you educate them, no matter how much it is. So, you want to go into this knowing, because there's YouTube videos out there, there's tutorials. Problem is a lot of that's bad education. A lot of it is for viral reels to go out. They just want the content, they just want the clicks. It could be the worst practices that you see on YouTube, and then you start following those trends and everything. So I think becoming a person in the community, getting friends, you're going to get some of those secrets, some of those tips that you would never find anywhere else. Um, I get companies calling me all the time asking for price checks. Hey, what's the market value of this and that? More so trying to be a customer, where it's like, dude, just give me a call. Say, hey man, I'm just starting out. I don't know where to go. Can you help me? I remember being in that stage where, you're kind of lost trying to figure stuff out, and you realize there's people a phone call away that were in the same situation you were. They were there 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't know where to start, and so there's even jobs that come out of it. I mean, shoot, a lot of my jobs that are subcontracted out to me are because they don't have a means to maybe do it, or they find a job that's 100 miles out of their area. Well, hey, you could still be a part of that. You can still get a discount, or I mean, a percentage off of that. And guess what? So there's all these jobs that I have created because I've actually been a friend in the community versus being out to get everyone. So not only does it create jobs, you're getting tips, tricks in the industry. It's a band of brothers and women, men and women that really come together and help each other out. So you're going to go far better off than trying to be that guy that's the lone wolf, thinking that he can do it all on himself.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it really goes into that other point. Like you're playing chess when you're doing stuff like this. You know, you're being small minded again. If you think that it's not a community, or you're going to do it all yourself. Definitely, when I had my window cleaning business, I was grateful for a lot of people that would share their experiences. And then not just talking about on the Facebook groups, but also locally reaching out to
Mhm.
them. Don't be afraid if you see a local cleaner just to go up and just talk shop. There might be one or two that don't want anything to do with you, and that's
Right.
fine. That's their business, right?
Mhm.
But most
Sure.
of us want to help each other out, want to see each other succeed,
Yep.
and that's definitely how I was able to grow my business by just getting along with others and sharing ideas, and it just
Yeah.
worked amazingly.
Yeah, and I was on that first, I was on that side to where it's like, no, 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 and some of those bigger companies where I first didn't want to reach out to, now we're the greatest friends, and so,
Yeah,
and now we're collabing and doing so much to move the industry in a better way.
yeah, love that hashtag. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's what my
Sure
kids
does.
always tell me.
Yeah, holds true.
All right, let's get into our third point. Let's see if I don't lose track where we're at here. But so, question for you: how can a business owner confidently price their services based on their unique value instead of just trying to match what the market charges? Great question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a great question. And I think it's something that we all fall trapped to because, right, just coming back from that second question, you just want to kind of get on a roof and start cleaning panels and you think that there's money involved. But when you start to do that, you're not taking care of anything else that's on the back end. And every price is different. Every price should be different because, as we talked about scaling as you go, a bucket Bob that's just starting out and is working on his own versus a team of 4 or 5 technicians that now I'm having to pay workers' comp, liability insurance, multiple vans, fleet maintenance. So, you know, again, I did it. I was the first one to start calling companies, start asking Facebook groups, "Hey, I'm in Southern California. What's the leading rate?" And so, again, someone that's just starting out has a lot more flexibility or at least room to scale. And so their cost ain't going to be what a team of 4 or 5 has. So you want to learn how to be able to tell what your expenses are. I mean, I'm just the same way. I hate numbers. It's not that I can't do it. It doesn't interest me. I want to be out in the field cleaning solar panels. But that ended up catching down, with me in the line because I started realizing, whoa, my profit margin is a lot less than I thought it was. I'm starting to buy go back to the equipment. Oh, I'm going to buy a robot. We're getting a lot of jobs, not actually calculating all those expenses out. And you can really shoot yourself in the foot when you don't do that. So, I know it's hard to get numbers down, but really just take the time to go, okay, what does one job take me as far as expenses, labor rates, and what you want to make profit wise? If you want your company to make 20% profit off of all after all those expenses, then you need to calculate that in and really see what your price should be, not what everyone is going. You want to use the market to obviously for sure kind of stay within relevance. You do want to make sure, but it's not to say, hey, I see this person's doing $6 per panel. Let me undercut him and go 5. No, you might need to be $7 or $8 a panel just to make sure you're covering your ends. So I think that's a big place where you need to just really break down what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what the cost is.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, just like this comment is great advice. So this has been super helpful for them.
I hope
They're in the
so.
beginning phase. Um, Absolutely, because sometimes, yeah, when you first get in it, you're coming out of that mentality that you're pricing it basically as a worker, right? You're coming from a job. Maybe I need to
Right.
make X amount of dollars just to replace the job that I'm working at, right?
Sure.
And then you try to grow your business and you're still charging those prices.
Hmm.
That's where those people are failing at 3, 4, 5 years because
Right.
they failed to uh, plan this out. So great
Absolutely.
advice, Ryan.
Cool, cool.
Next one. What are some smart ways new solar cleaning businesses can diversify or plan ahead to stay profitable during the slower seasons?
Yeah. Um, when I first started out, it was just a solar cleaning company. I wanted to, I mean, that's all I saw. So I didn't think about window cleaning. I didn't think about gutter cleaning or whatever it might be. Um, and that's cool. If you want to specifically target that area, that's great. But be prepared that something like solar cleaning, any kind of service, any kind of product usually goes down in the winter, right? There's some sort of dip in the market, economics, everything, right? So you can't just sit there and go, hey, I want to be the solar cleaner. I'm not windows. Nah, that's not me, whatever it is. Because that's where I was. Again, that's where I sat. I started solar cleaning. Sure. And why are you going to leave money off the table, guys? It's or on the table, I should say. Um, Exterior window cleaning, you already got, if you're doing things the right way and you got a water fed pole and you got a RODI system, you got ladders, you got safety gear, why wouldn't you want to add another $300, $400, $500 ticket onto solar cleaning? You already got 50% of the equipment outside. And so those are services that you can add on and always remove down the line. I hope that one day that maybe I am just solar panel cleaning and doing it big enough to where that's all I need. But I also have 4 employees. And again, going back as we scale and meet those demands, I want to make sure I'm paying my employees. I want to make sure they have a good culture. I want to make sure I'm taking care of my family and needs. So, yeah, it's really something to go with. Sorry, let me catch on with where we're at. Um, and so, yeah, Windows, I ended up adding, manual, doing things the right way. And you come to find out that actually some services you never thought were going to be maybe a main ticket end up being your biggest ticket of the year. We added Christmas lights, for instance, for the off season in the winter. And man, let me tell you, it is a lucrative business. It can easily give you just as much income, if not more, during that off season and really help you guys out, man. Just be open to the idea of offering multiple services, add-ons, bundles, and combating that slower season. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great call there. Homeowners or business owners, they want all these services done. And, if you go there and say, I'm not going to do window cleaning, or might just open an opportunity for them to go elsewhere and get this main service that you're doing.
Right.
Um, but very true. It's an opportunity for keeping, if you have employees or you want to grow to have employees, having these multiple services keep you busy throughout the whole year. It's excellent way to go. It's something we're seeing a lot in the pressure washing community.
Mhm.
They would always be setting out window cleaning to someone else, or they just tell their customers that they don't do it. And one, it wasn't leaving their customers satisfied. So now we're seeing an uptick of pressure washers becoming window cleaners because
Yeah.
uh, one, it helps make sure their customers are satisfied, and then obviously more money, which is really good.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, I'm not telling you to go add some lawn mowing service with your
Right.
window cleaning or solar cleaning, right? Obviously, keep them combined with the niches that they stay
Sure.
together. Because yeah, if a customer honors you, respects you, you've won their trust over, you want it. The whole goal is to try to keep a customer for what I've learned is like 6 years plus, right? You want to have those lifelong customers. So yeah, if they're already put the faith in me for solar cleaning, why not have them trust me for their window cleaning and just keep more tickets going down the funnel. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right. I think we're at our point number 5 already.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going through.
All right. So, what foundational business skills are often overlooked by new owners who focus too much on equipment, and how they can close the gap early?
Yeah. And I like that we talk about this stuff because as much as it maybe goes against us being an equipment company or anything like that, as we said at the start of this podcast, it's we can sit here all day and talk about tools, but it's the fundamentals of a business that you need to keep on going, moving forward. So um, that was one thing that I started again, just feeling that I just had to be out in the field, and when you get stuck in that field of just being the working hands, so much on the back end that either I just didn't want to think about. I thought, no big deal, I'll get to it later. All of that stuff ends up coming down and snowballing you over time. So if you are a very good hands-on person and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go tackle it and just go hit every job that I can, but I'm not going to focus on taxes. I'm not going to
Mm.
focus on bookkeeping. I'm not going to focus on the insurance side or the job costing that I talked about. Just go, go, go. Well, let me tell you, year 2 or 3, I went to my tax man and he wasn't very happy with what I brought him.
Yeah.
So, we ended up having to, I had to pay some taxes and he had to work some numbers. And, it was something that I thought, hey, I'm doing so good with these jobs and bringing in all this money and rolling in. You tend to focus on what interests you, right? And the problem is those things that are not interesting tend to be the most important things. So you want to keep ahead of everything that you can do on the internal side. Don't be so fixated on the trucks and van wraps and all that good stuff, because it does come together. But it's really, because if you have a big old piece of equipment and you have a nice shiny truck, but you don't know nothing about marketing, you don't know nothing about sales tactics, you don't
Mm.
know anything about any of that, that's not going to do you any good. So really really dive into, if there's training programs, if there's OSHA programs, if there's books. I'm the worst at book reading, but what I've learned in the last couple of years is just reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad has really, like, whoa, okay, this is something I can actually teach my kids, and learning financial freedom and everything like that. So um, try to stay focused on what bores you. Is kind of what I can do about that, because if it's something that it doesn't pique your interest, it's probably something that you should really be focusing on, because you're letting it just sit on that back burner.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to, put the taxes in the back burner for sure.
Yeah, yeah, but and it's just, again, it doesn't, it's, you just start getting into this grind and you get on that hamster wheel, right? And you just keep on going, and sure enough, you just don't realize with anything else, time flies, time goes. And here I am sitting year 6 of business, and I still don't got it figured out, right? I'm still learning stuff to this day. I'm still applying myself to new seminars, new trainings, all of that. That actually is the opposite of the solar cleaning. Coaching, don't be
Yeah.
afraid to eventually get into some coaching, guys. I was, again, someone else that, nah, I don't need no coaching. I don't need that. Why? You're going to have someone else tell me how I need to run my business. But boy, let me tell you, after, again, year 5 and getting into some coaching, it's really rewired my brain. It's actually made me understand those job costing. And that's where I actually found out, whoa, I'm kind of in the danger zone, because for the last 4 or 5 years, I wasn't keeping track of expenses. I was just kind of like, yeah, I think we can get a new van. Yeah, sure. I got the work for it. Sure. I
Yeah.
think we can lease another one. And it's because I was afraid to get into those numbers. So really stay focused on what you can do inside the company.
Yeah, absolutely. You should definitely learn every aspect of your business. And and once you do learn it, maybe there's things that you know how to do and you're maybe not great at, but now you know that this
Yeah.
is something I can delegate, whether it's
Right.
internally to somebody or a higher outside source, and then you
Yes.
can focus on those other things, but definitely
Yes.
need to know the ins and out of your business. Otherwise it's gonna flounder.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that as far as delegating to other people, because I've learned that too, right? You don't need to be, just as we said, you don't need to take care of everything. You don't need to be the one man show, but you do need to learn what you're good at and what you can delegate to someone else. If I'm not the great guy at door knocking and doing sales, then sure, I'm learning now. I will more than gladly hand that off to someone else,
Yeah.
and not be the guy I don't have to be the center of my business. I just want it to run. So even more of the content. I'm not the great guy, the best guy to kind of publicly speak. So what I'm learning is I have technicians that are great at that. They were in drama for years and plays. So I let them do my ads now. Why not? And you just realize that, yeah, you can delegate so many of these tasks and free up your time. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, if you just were joining us, Ryan and I, we discuss 5 mistakes a new solar cleaning company makes. Um, we're about at that point where it's time to sign off. But definitely, if you're just joining in, feel free to rewatch this. It's going to be on our Facebook Tucker business page, our YouTube channel. Ryan, you have it. You're sharing it elsewhere as well.
Yep.
Where can
Yep.
they see it too?
Yeah, so
Your
if
channels.
you add me on Facebook, just Ryan DeHoop. On Instagram, I am Tucker Pro Ryan, so Tucker Pro _ Ryan. And then we are also sharing this in our Solar Cleaners Network group right now. So if you're in the industry and you're looking for some tips and tricks, search up Solar Cleaners Network. We're talking about window cleaning and all. So don't be afraid to feel like you're not somewhere you could be.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
definitely check out Ryan's Instagram and definitely that Solar Cleaner Network channel
Yeah.
group. So just to recap on those 5 mistakes a new solar cleaning company makes. Uh, one, not they're playing checkers, not chess. Two, be a friend, not an enemy. So don't be afraid of other local companies in your area, competitors. Reach out to them. 3, know your value, not your market. 4, prepare for the off season now. Multiple services are okay. Um, and then 5, learn business fundamentals, not just the tools. Because
Yep.
really, I when I talk with people about our equipment, I really love talking about businesses and helping them grow the business. And in reality, if they have a growing business, they have more equipment needs. So
Yep.
come see us when your businesses are growing, and we can definitely put you in the right system. All right, guys,
Absolutely.
thanks so much. Just a reminder, check us out on our Facebook business page. It's RHG-Tucker Pole Systems. And then our YouTube channel at Tucker_USA. Again, we want to say congratulations to Jack Lineback for winning our single user fill and go. We'll be reaching out here shortly and letting you know how we can get that over to you. Thanks again for joining us this week. We really look forward to having these when we can. Uh, be sure to check out our website, tuckerusa.com tomorrow. Just you want to make sure you want to stay tuned for this weekend. All right.
Yep.
Um, Brian, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of
Look
course.
forward to having you back on here from time to time. So, uh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
And
for the
thank
rest
you,
of
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Real quick, just
sure.
thanks, everyone. If you feel like you need any questions, help, advice within the industry, you can reach out on my Instagram or Facebook messages. It's nice to see a lot of people that are just getting into the business, whether it's a couple years ago and I've helped them and go into our Tucker products. They're starting off with rivals and now they're picking up max outputs. So, like Alex said, you start somewhere, you're going to end up getting to the top if you just keep on going. So don't stop pushing, guys. Have a good
Absolutely.
one.
You too.
All
Everyone, take
right.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.